sessions creating a design. We've seen in previous videos how to take an existing protocol, modify it, then save it in our own library. Similarly, take a existing media, modify it, save it in our own library. But the next step is to combine the two and save them as a design. The two really need to be treated as a pair because they're joined at the hip by the media matrix, and if you treat one independent of the other, they tend to break at that point. So let's see how to do that. We've signed in as Essence, the manager, and we're going to call up client Q. Now, following on from some earlier videos, we noted that the alpha lateral coherence protocol requires, in fact, expects a differential SPU set to coherence mode. So we're looking at the coherence across the band between channel 1 compared with channel 2, and that's the coherence across the band there. And it's the protocol profile here set against the coherence values, which will generate the rewards and inhibits. However, we've noticed that at this point, this differential SPU is white, meaning that it has no connections to media at this point in time, whereas the former design had those connections in the referential SPUs. The size was controlled here and the volume was controlled here. So what we need to do is modify the media matrix such that the media controls, size and volume, are connected to this differential SPU 1, 2. To do that, as previous, we go to the side panel and we select media. We select media matrix. And whereas the size is currently controlled by SPU, referential SPU 1, we change it to differential SPU 1, 2, and similarly for volume. Done. We come back here and we see that now the differential SPU is in green, meaning that it has connected to a media, and we can see the volume. It's actually both the volume and the size controlled by this control signal here. So let's save that. It is useful to see the channel 1 and the channel 2 signals as well, but what's controlling the feedback is in fact the difference between the two set to the coherence mode. All right, so to save this protocol, we go back, we give it a name. Remember what we're signed in as Essence. We're just going to call it test 1. For now, we won't set a summary, and we won't, and we'll publish it to ourselves. And we're going to save that. Create a new media design. Let's check that it is there. Under Media, drop-down list, Essence 2D Video Loop. Self test. There it is. So this is this was given a different name because it's only published to ourselves, so it's different to the previous 2D video library. Okay, so there it is, and we're happy with the protocol alpha lateral coherence under biosignal EEG. Well, let's save that as our own. So let's go over here, although we're not going to change it. We'll put it in our own library. We select protocol. We're not going to change the protocol profile. We need to give it a name. We'll call it test 1 again. And we'll leave everything as it was. Duration 20 minutes, 30 hertz bins, P3, P4, and we're publishing to ourselves only. So let's save that. And again, we double check that it's there. So we go to protocol, libraries. We see the Essence EEG library self. There it is. And underneath we have test one. So they're both there. Next step is to go to the calendar. This will be client Q's calendar, but in fact it can be anyone at this point because we're just going to save this new design as one of our own session designs. So we click on a blank one. We're going to give it a unique name, and again we're going to call it test one. Test one. And the media, well, we know what we're looking for. Essence 2D Video Lib Self. There is only one media, it's test one. And similarly here for protocol, Essence EEG Lib Self, and there's only one in there as well, test one. And we save it. And there it is. That is permanently saved to the database, and that will be there all the time. So we can now deploy that design. So it's a combined protocol and media to the client's calendar for the 7th of the next month. And when the client logs in on that day, he'll click on that and he'll see that this is the media selected. This is the protocol selected. The duration is 20 minutes. You get to click start at that point in time. We go back to the monitor view and we see that it's configured as test one, test one. Just to double check that that's true, let's pick something else. Let's go there and news 4. Let's go here and wideband suppression. There it is. So we've reconfigured it. We can see the wideband suppression profile down here. Let's go back to the calendar and try it one more time. This time we're going to click on our test one design, start session. Has it reconfigured? Let's go back and have a look. And there it is. It's back to the media test one, protocol test one, and we're training 1947, counting down the 20 minutes of the duration of that training session.